Hello, it's Christina here. Today I want to share a little bit about how stem cell therapy can treat type 1 diabetes. So when we talk about diabetes, it's all about blood glucose level. So how do we regulate blood glucose levels normally? So when we eat after a meal, so obviously we have a lot of energy intake and our blood glucose level will soar, will jump high, and then our body will detect this, and in order to bring down the glucose level, our beta cell in the islet of Langerhans will produce insulin, and insulin will trigger a series of reactions to bring down the blood glucose level. For example, cell respiration or transfer blood glucose to glycogen, for example. When after a long exercise, our blood glucose level will jump low, we decline a lot because we consume a lot of energy. So our body would then also detect this, and our alpha cell in islet of Langerhans would then produce more glucagon to bring up the glucose level. They would transform other glycogen, for example, to glucose to help the body maintain a consistent level of blood glucose level. So the diabetes is when the blood glucose levels are too high, and there are two types of diabetes. The first type of diabetes is type 1 diabetes, which is caused by body not producing enough insulin. So not enough insulin produced to trigger a series of reactions to bring down glucose level when it's too high. Type 2 diabetes is when the body producing insulin, but our cells in the body are not responding to the insulin. So this usually happens later in life due to diet and exercise, while the type 1 diabetes usually happened during childhood, very early in life. However, there are some companies start to use stem cell therapy to treat type 1 diabetes. And the theory or the science behind that is because we know that stem cells is a type of cell that can be differentiated into different types of somatic cells, different types of body cells. So if we put stem cells in certain environment, then it's possible that the stem cell will differentiate into the cell we want. In this case, in type 1 diabetes, we want beta cells, because beta cells can then produce insulin to regulate the glucose level. So technically, it's possible that we can use stem cells and put it into a specific environment and then produce beta cells and then produce insulin. However, I believe the challenge here is that scientists are still trying to find the right environment for the stem cell to differentiate to the direction that we want. And also, there are many types of stem cells. The most common one is embryonic stem cells. So just from the name, we know that the embryonic stem cells come from embryo. It's when the eggs fertilized by the sperm and then become an embryo, and then the scientists then take the embryo and then collect stem cells from it. There are a lot of ethical concerns about this because it's from embryo, and then a lot of ethical concerns. But yes, in the future we might really be able to use stem cell therapy to produce beta cell and produce insulin to treat type 1 diabetes.